The train moves slowly through the open countryside. It is late at night, and nearly everyone inside the train is asleep. The steady, rhythmic sound of the wheels rolling over the tracks fills the quiet space. Click-clack, click-clack. The sound repeats again and again, a hypnotic metronome marking the passage of time. It's a soft and predictable sound, the kind that makes time feel slower, heavier, and more profound. It's a sound that invites you to let go, to release the day's tensions, and to simply be present in the journey. Outside the window, the land stretches wide and calm under the cloak of night. Flat fields pass by quietly, their shapes soft by the darkness. Some fields look like deep, velvety shadows, while others are barely visible, blending into the horizon. The landscape is a canvas of muted tones, a world at rest. The occasional silhouette of a lone tree stands against the dark sky, a silent guardian of the sleeping fields. The moonlight, when it breaks through the clouds, casts a silvery sheen on the land, creating fleeting moments of ethereal beauty before being swallowed by darkness again. Inside the train, the lights are dim and gentle. They are not bright enough to disturb the passengers. They simply glow softly above the seats, casting long, soft shadows down the aisle. The light is warm, almost like candlelight, creating a cozy and intimate atmosphere. It pulls on the empty seats and reflects faintly off the polished surfaces, adding to the sense of tranquility. The rows of seats, upholstered in a dark, durable fabric, rest in neat lines. Many are empty, their vacancy adding to the feeling of spaciousness and peace. Others are occupied by sleeping travelers, each lost in their own world of dreams. A man near the window rests his head against the cool glass. His eyes are closed, his face relaxed and free from the cares of the waking world. His breathing is slow and even, a quiet and steady rhythm, in and out. His chest rises and falls in a barely perceptible motion, a testament to the deep peace that has settled over him. The vibrations of the train seem to lull him further into a slumber, a gentle, constant cradle. Across the aisle, a woman sleeps soundly under a thin, light blanket. The blanket is pulled up to her chin, and it rises and falls gently with each breath she takes. She is a still figure in the dim light, a portrait of serenity. Her journey is an internal one now, a passage through landscapes of the mind as the train carries her through the physical world. Nothing else moves. The air inside the train feels still and profoundly calm. It's neither warm nor cold, just comfortable. A perfect equilibrium that encourages rest. The train continues its forward motion at the same unhurried, deliberate pace. It never rushes. It never stops abruptly. It glides through the night with a grace that feels timeless. Outside, a distant farmhouse appears briefly in the darkness. A single, warm light glows from one of its windows, a tiny beacon of life in the vast, dark expanse. Who is awake in that house? What stories are unfolding under that solitary light? The train passes by without slowing, a silent observer. The light shrinks and then disappears into the darkness behind. Silence returns to the countryside, broken only by the persistent rhythm of the tracks. Click-clack, click-clack. Each sound blends seamlessly into the next. There are no sharp noises, no sudden jolts, just a smooth, continuous flow of movement and sound. A conductor walks quietly down the aisle. His steps are soft and measured, almost inaudible against the train's gentle hum. He moves with a practiced ease, his presence reassuring rather than intrusive. He checks tickets with a small, handheld device, its screen casting a momentary glow on his face, but he does so without waking anyone. He is a silent custodian of the night journey. Then he moves on to the next car. The door between the cars opens with a gentle whoosh of air and closes again with a soft, muffled click. The quiet returns unbroken. The window glass feels cool to the touch, a thin barrier between the warmth of the carriage and the chill of the night air. Outside, the sky is a deep, inky black, covered with a thin veil of clouds that diffuses the moonlight. No stars are visible tonight, hidden behind the gauzy layer. The train passes long stretches of empty land, where the world seems to be holding its breath. Occasionally, a wooden fence appears beside the tracks, its posts marching in a steady line before fading away again into the gloom. Telephone poles stand like sentinels, evenly spaced, their wires dipping and rising in a gentle catenary curve. One passes by, then another, and then another, each one a fleeting marker on an endless journey. Inside the train, a low, consistent hum emanates from the engine. It's a foundational sound that blends with the click-clack of the tracks, creating a constant, soothing background noise. This symphony of mechanical sounds is the lullaby of the train, a constant companion through the dark hours. The seats are simple and clean, designed for function and comfort. Dark fabric covers the cushions, and the armrests are smooth and cool. No screens are on, no commercials or movies playing. No announcements crackle over a loudspeaker. The night feels slow and endless, a gentle void where time stretches and softens. There is nothing to think about, nothing to do but be. The gentle rocking of the train, a side-to-side sway, makes the body feel heavy, grounded, and deeply relaxed. It's a motion that has comforted travelers for generations, a physical reminder of progress that requires no effort. Thoughts drift quietly, like clouds across the night sky. They come and go without urgency, unburdened by the need for focus or resolution. Breathing becomes deeper, slower, more intentional. With each exhalation, a little more tension is released. Outside, a small town passes by silently. A few streetlights cast pools of orange glow over empty roads and sleeping houses. The town is a ghost of itself. Its daily life paused until sunrise. There are no cars on the streets, no people on the sidewalks. The train slides through like a secret, its passage unnoticed by the slumbering inhabitants. Then, just as quickly as it appeared, the town disappears behind us. The vast, open countryside returns. The sound of the tracks remains the same, a constant, reassuring presence. Click-clack, click-clack. The train continues its calm, inexorable journey through the quiet American night. Nothing changes. Everything stays peaceful. The world outside is a series of fleeting impressions, a dreamlike sequence of shadow and faint light. Inside, the world is contained, safe, and still. There is a unique kind of peace to be found here, In this liminal space between departure and arrival, between dusk and dawn, it's a moment suspended in time, where the only thing that matters is the steady forward motion and the gentle rocking that guides you deeper and deeper into a state of profound rest. The journey itself becomes the destination. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this peaceful journey, please like, share, and subscribe for more relaxing content. Sweet dreams. The train continued moving at the same steady pace. Nothing about the motion changed. The wheels followed the tracks smoothly. Click-clack, click-clack. The sound was familiar now. Soft and even. It blended into the background without effort. Inside the train, the air remained quiet and still. Most passengers stayed asleep. No one spoke. No one stirred. A man 2 rows ahead shifted slightly in his seat. Then he became still again. His breathing returned to a slow, steady rhythm. A small overhead light flickered gently, just once, and then stayed steady. It did not bother anyone. It simply continued to glow with a soft, warm light. Outside the window, the countryside remained dark and open. Fields stretched far into the distance, their shapes barely visible under the moonless sky. No buildings were nearby, only vast stretches of land and an endless sky. The clouds above moved slowly, so slowly that their shapes changed without notice. The sky stayed dark and calm, a deep, peaceful expanse. The train passed a long stretch of fencing. The fence appeared and disappeared in the darkness, a fleeting, rhythmic pattern. Each post looked the same as the last, a silent sentinel in the night. Inside the car, a faint hum came from the ventilation system. It was soft and constant, a gentle white noise that mixed with the rhythmic sound of the tracks. The seats remained still and quiet. Armrests stayed folded down. Tray tables remained closed and locked in place. A woman near the aisle adjusted her blanket slightly, pulling it closer around her shoulders. Then she settled again. Her breathing slowed, joining the quiet chorus of the sleeping car. Time passed without meaning. Minutes felt long and drawn out. Hours felt gentle and soft. The train did not stop. It did not speed up or slow down. It simply continued forward, a steady presence moving through the night. Outside, a distant road crossed the tracks. A single streetlight glowed briefly, a lonely point of orange in the darkness. Then, just as quickly, it vanished behind the train. The darkness returned, complete and comforting. Telephone poles continued passing by at even predictable distances. One, then another, then another. The repetition felt calming, a predictable rhythm in the vast, quiet landscape. Inside the train, no announcements played over the speakers. No alarms sounded. Everything remained in a state of perfect, uninterrupted quiet. The engine's low sound stayed unchanged, a deep, steady tone that filled the background and rumbled gently through the floor. The windows reflected the faint interior lights of the car. Soft, blurry shapes moved slowly across the glass, mirroring the sleeping world inside. The aisle remained empty. No footsteps echoed. No doors opened or closed. The night felt deep and profoundly still. The train felt safe and enclosed. A small, warm world moving through the darkness. In this peaceful, quiet, breathing slowed naturally. Muscles relaxed without any conscious effort. The steady motion was a gentle lullaby. Outside, another small town appeared briefly in the distance. A few dim lights stood along empty streets, closed stores, quiet buildings. The town slipped away into the dark as quickly as it had appeared. A fleeting glimpse of another sleeping world. The sound of the tracks continued without interruption. Click-clack, click-clack. The train kept moving through the quiet countryside, a constant, reassuring presence. Nothing demanded attention. Nothing needed to be remembered or done. The steady motion carried everything forward. Slow, predictable, calm. The night continued peacefully, on and on. The train rolled steadily through the silent countryside. Its motion is even and predictable, a gentle rocking that soothes and calms. Click-clack, click-clack. The sound of the wheels on the tracks is constant, a soft rhythm that weaves itself into the fabric of the night. It's a rhythm that repeats without change, a lullaby for the journey ahead. Inside the train, the air is still and quiet. Passengers are settled in for the long ride, most of them already asleep. There are no conversations, no sudden movements. It's a space of shared tranquility. By the window, a man rests his head gently against the cool glass. You can almost feel the slow, even pace of his breathing. In and out, in and out. A picture of pure relaxation. Across the aisle, a woman adjusts her blanket, pulling it a little closer before settling back into a deep stillness. Her eyes remain closed, her body completely relaxed, swaying in perfect time with the gentle rocking of the train. The lights inside the car glow with a soft, warm light. They're dim enough to be comforting, creating a cozy and secure atmosphere, yet just bright enough to see the aisle and the empty seats around you. Outside the window, vast fields stretch into an endless darkness. Here and there, the landscape is slightly lighter under the faint moonlight, while other areas are almost completely invisible, shrouded in shadow. Nothing changes quickly out there. The world moves slowly past the window, a dreamlike procession of shapes and shadows. For a moment, a distant farmhouse appears, a solitary silhouette against the dark horizon. A single, faint light flickers from within, a tiny spark of life in the vast emptiness. But just as quickly as it appeared, the train moves past, and the light disappears, leaving only the darkness behind once more. Telephone poles continue their steady march alongside the tracks. One, then another, then another. Their repetition is calming, a visual metronome, marking the train's unwavering progress. The train's engine emits a low, persistent hum. It's a deep, resonant sound that mixes perfectly with the rhythmic click-clack of the wheels, creating a continuous, even drone that fills the background. It's the kind of sound you can get lost in, a white noise that quiets the mind. The seats inside the car are orderly and simple, their dark fabrics smooth to the touch. Armrests are folded down, and tray tables rest neatly in place, everything in its right position, undisturbed. A soft, gentle breeze moves almost imperceptibly through the open ventilation, keeping the air fresh. The temperature inside the car is just right, a comfortable medium, neither too hot nor too cold. It's the perfect environment for rest. Outside, the night remains profoundly quiet. No animals stir in the fields. No headlights from passing cars break the spell. There are only the fields, the fences, and the vast, dark sky above. The aisle of the car remains empty. In another car, you can imagine the conductor walking slowly, his steps quiet and his movements deliberate. He moves through the train without making a sound, ensuring everything is in order, respecting the peace of the sleeping passengers. Far off in the distance, a small town appears. A few scattered lights glow along its deserted streets. The buildings stand closed and still, silent witnesses to the train's passing. The train moves through without any pause, a transient visitor in their sleeping world. Back in your car, some passengers shift slightly in their seats. A blanket is pulled a little higher. A head tilts back at a more comfortable angle. But these are small, unconscious adjustments, and the deep calm quickly returns. The sound of the tracks persists, a constant, reassuring presence. Click-clack, click-clack. The train continues its journey through the quiet night, a vessel of peace moving through a sleeping world. The gentle, predictable rocking of the carriage makes your body feel heavy. Your muscles begin to relax, letting go of any tension they might have been holding. Your breathing slows down, becoming deeper and more regular. Time itself seems to slow down here. Minutes blend seamlessly into one another. The concept of hours feels distant and unimportant. The journey simply moves forward, moment by peaceful moment. Nothing changes rapidly. Everything remains steady, predictable, and profoundly peaceful. Outside, the dark countryside stretches on, seemingly without end. The fields, the fences, and the telephone poles pass by in a constant, unchanging pattern. The night continues, uninterrupted and serene. Inside the train, there is nothing that requires your attention. No announcements play over a loudspeaker. No bright screens glow with information or entertainment. There is only the consistent, soothing quiet. The passengers around you drift deeper into sleep, their minds relaxed by the steady motion and the soft, rhythmic sounds of the journey. The calm night continues, a perfect, unbroken state of tranquility. Click-clack, click-clack, the train moves ever forward through darkness and stillness, carrying everyone inside on its slow, steady, and peaceful path into the heart of the night. This journey is more than just traveling from one point to another. It's an experience of complete surrender to the motion, to the sound, to the quiet of the night. It's a rare opportunity to disconnect from the busy world and reconnect with a sense of inner peace. Each click of the tracks is a reminder to let go, to be present in this moment of perfect calm. The world outside may be vast and unknown, but inside this train, there is a sense of safety, of being held and gently rocked toward a new day. As the train continues its passage, you might notice the subtle shifts in the darkness outside. The sky might lighten almost imperceptibly as the moon finds a break in the clouds, casting a silvery sheen over the landscape for a few moments before disappearing again. These small changes only add to the beauty of the experience, reminding you that even in the stillness, there is a quiet, natural rhythm at play. The hum of the engine, the click of the tracks, the soft breathing of fellow travelers. It all combines into a symphony of the night. A symphony that asks for nothing but your quiet attention. You can feel your own thoughts slowing down, the usual chatter of the mind fading away, replaced by a simple awareness of the here and now. The gentle sway of the train becomes your guide, leading you further into a state of deep relaxation. There is a unique magic to a nighttime train ride. It's a journey through a world asleep, a world stripped of its daytime complexities. It's just you, the train, and the endless night. Every mile traveled is another mile deeper into this peaceful state. You are a passenger, not just on a train, but on a voyage through stillness itself. The conductor might pass by your door, a fleeting shadow in the hallway, his presence reassuring but unobtrusive. He is the quiet guardian of this moving sanctuary, ensuring the journey remains smooth and undisturbed. His calm demeanor mirrors the atmosphere of the entire train. As the journey progresses, you find yourself letting go more and more. The need to check the time, to think about your destination, to plan your next move, it all dissolves. There is only the continuous, soothing motion. The train is taking care of everything. All you have to do is be. And so, the train rolls on. Click-clack, click-clack, through the heart of the dark, silent countryside. It carries its sleeping passengers through the night, a steady, reliable presence in a world that has gone to rest. The journey continues, a long, unbroken line of peace, moving ever forward until the first light of dawn begins to touch the horizon. For now, there is only the night, the motion, and the profound, beautiful calm. Thank you for joining this journey. Remember to like and subscribe for more peaceful travels. The train moves steadily through the night, a constant, reassuring presence in the vast darkness. The speed doesn't change, not even a little. The wheels glide along the tracks with a smooth, even rhythm, a familiar lullaby for anyone who's ever taken a night train. Click-clack. Click-clack. It's a sound that sinks into your bones, a heartbeat for the journey. Inside the car, the atmosphere is perfectly quiet. A sense of collective peace has settled over everyone. Passengers are relaxed in their seats, surrendered to the gentle motion of the train. Most have their eyes closed, drifting in that space between wakefulness and sleep. Their breathing is slow and natural, a soft counterpoint to the rhythm of the tracks. A soft, warm light glows from fixtures running along the ceiling above the aisle. It's just a train, the land, and the sky, moving together as one. Inside the car again, you might notice a faint, whispery sound coming from the air vents. It's a quiet, steady flow of air, a constant presence you only register if you really listen for it. The tray tables are folded and latched, their purpose fulfilled for the night. Painting a brief picture of a community asleep. Then, just as slowly, they passed by the window and disappeared behind the train. The complete darkness returns, and the feeling of isolation, of being in our own little world, deepens. Beside the tracks, telephone poles continue their silent march. They are evenly spaced, predictable, a steady visual rhythm to accompany the audible one. One after another, they appear and recede, marking out progress through the sleeping landscape. Inside the car, no voices are heard. There are no conversations, no whispers, no announcements come over the speaker system. Your breathing deepens, finding a slower, more restorative rhythm. Clouds drift slowly across it, obscuring whatever stars might be shining behind them. The train moves through another long stretch of empty land. Nothing changes. Everything stays calm, predictable, and peaceful. The passengers remain still. Blankets are draped quietly over laps and shoulders. Heads are leaned comfortably against seats or pillows propped against the window. The night continues without any interruption. There are no sudden sounds to jolt you awake, no bright lights to pierce the cozy dimness. And through it all, the steady, hypnotic rhythm of the tracks continues its song. Click-clack, click-clack. It's the sound of progress. The sound of distance being covered, the sound of a journey unfolding exactly as it should. The train carries everyone forward, a metal capsule of peace moving through the quiet American countryside. The journey is slow, predictable, and deeply, wonderfully peaceful. It's a rare chance to disconnect, to let the world outside fade away, and to simply be. To be carried, to be rocked, to be lulled by the motion and the sound. The journey continues, calmly and serenely, into the heart of the night. Thank you for joining me on this peaceful ride. If you enjoyed this moment of calm, please consider liking and subscribing for more tranquil journeys. Safe travels. Have you ever craved that feeling of pure, uninterrupted calm? That sense of gentle movement where the world outside just fades away and all that's left is a quiet, peaceful journey. Tonight, we're going on that journey together. Settle in, get comfortable, and let's find our peace on this midnight train. The train moves forward, a steady, unwavering pace. It's a rhythm you can trust, smooth and constant. Listen to that familiar sound the wheels make on the tracks. Click clack. Click clack. A sound that isn't jarring, but rather a gentle heartbeat for our journey through the night. It's a sound that promises we are safely on our way. Inside the car, a deep quiet has settled over everything. It's a comfortable silence, shared by everyone here. Most passengers are resting, their eyes closed, lost in their own peaceful thoughts or gentle dreams. You can almost feel the collective calm as their breathing stays slow and even. It's a space of shared tranquility. A soft, low vibration travels up from the floor, a constant and gentle hum. It's not disruptive, it's grounding. It reminds you that you're moving, traveling somewhere new, but in the most serene way possible. The lights in the aisle are dim, casting a warm, soft glow. They don't flicker or falter. They just are. A steady, reassuring presence in the quiet dark. Look out the window with me. Everything just blends together into a single, peaceful panorama. We're passing through long, empty stretches of land now. No buildings, no roads crossing our path. It's just us, the train, and the sleeping earth. Can you hear that? It's the faint whisper of air from the vents. A soft, continuous sound that mixes with the distant hum of the engine, creating a unique kind of white noise. It's the perfect soundtrack for relaxation. The seats are still, the armrests are down, the tray tables are folded away. Everything is in its place, just as it should be. Someone near the window shifts slightly, a brief, small movement before settling back into stillness. Even these tiny disruptions are quickly absorbed by the overwhelming peace of the car. In here, time itself feels different. It slows down, becomes fluid. The minutes melt into one another, and the night feels endless in the best possible way. The train doesn't stop. It doesn't even slow down. It just continues its steady forward motion. Outside, a distant line of trees appears on the horizon, dark shapes against a dark sky. They pass by slowly, like silent guardians of the night, and then they're gone. The telephone poles keep rhythm with the train, passing one after another, perfectly spaced, marking our progress through the quiet landscape. Still no sounds break the calm inside. There are no announcements, no voices, just a steady hum and the click-clack of the tracks. The gentle rocking of the train is like a lullaby. You can feel your body getting heavy, your muscles letting go of all their tension. Your breathing deepens, finding a natural, easy rhythm. The window has become a mirror, reflecting the soft interior lights and the faint shapes moving inside. It's a dreamlike view, a world within a world. The sky outside remains covered with a thick blanket of clouds, hiding the stars. The countryside is quiet, unchanged, just endless fields and darkness stretching out together. All the passengers are calm, still. Blankets are draped over sleeping forms. Heads are leaning comfortably against seats or pillows. The train carries us all, a vessel of peace, moving through the silent night. Every part of this journey is slow, predictable, peaceful. It continues without interruption. Everything remains beautifully, wonderfully calm. Thank you for joining me on this peaceful ride tonight. I hope it brought you a moment of stillness and rest. If you enjoyed this journey, please like this video and subscribe for more moments of calm. Sweet dreams. The train moves steadily through the night, a constant presence in the quiet landscape. Its speed never wavered, a slow and rhythmic progression. It was a gentle, repetitive sound that neither grew louder nor faded away. It simply persisted, a constant in the stillness. Passengers rested in their seats, their bodies given over to the gentle motion. Most faces were relaxed, serene in the soft light. Eyes remained closed, shielded from the passing world. A subtle vibration hummed through the floor and up into the seats. It was a constant, calming reminder of the journey, a physical whisper that they were still moving forward, ever forward. The lights lining the aisle glowed softly, their dim and steady radiance casting a warm, comforting hue. They didn't flicker or falter. No houses dotted the horizon, no roads intersected the tracks. There was only the vastness of the darkness and the profound quiet it held. It was a soft, continuous flow of air, a gentle sigh that blended harmoniously with the low, distant hum of the engine. The seats remained perfectly still, their occupants undisturbed. Then, just as quickly, the passengers settled back into stillness, rejoining the collective calm. In this space, time seemed to lose its meaning. Minutes drifted by, unnoticed and uncounted. A faint pinprick of warmth in the vast, cool night. The gentle rocking of the carriage had a lulling effect, making bodies feel heavier, more grounded. Muscles, tight from the day, began to unwind and relax. Shoulders dropped naturally, releasing stored tension. Breathing slowed, deepening without any conscious effort. Each breath felt fuller, more nourishing than the last. The window pane, cool to the touch, reflected faint, ghostly shapes from inside the car. Soft shadows moved with the train's slow sway, their dance across the glass, a muted and gentle performance. Nothing sharp or bright appeared, only subdued forms in the dim light. Outside, the sky remained a solid, dark canvas, heavy with clouds. No stars were visible, their light obscured by the thick, formless vapor drifting slowly above. The train passed through another quiet town, a fleeting glimpse of slumbering civilization. A few streetlights cast lonely pools of light onto empty streets. Buildings, their windows dark, stood still and silent, like sleeping giants. The town faded as quickly as it had appeared, dissolving back into the rural darkness. Inside the car, the passengers remained undisturbed, wrapped in their own worlds of sleep and quiet contemplation. Blankets rested lightly over them, and heads leaned comfortably against the plush headrests. The engine's low hum was a constant, a foundational sound that never rose or fell in pitch. It was simply there, a steady, reassuring presence in the background. Nothing unexpected happened. There were no sudden movements, no loud noises, no calls for attention. The world outside the window remained a consistent tapestry of dark fields and endless night. The sound of the tracks, that familiar, comforting rhythm, was the journey's heartbeat. The train itself felt like a safe and closed world, a self-contained capsule moving through the vastness of the quiet American night. Everything felt secure. The night remained deep and peaceful, a vast ocean of tranquility. Nothing changed. Everything stayed calm. Each passenger was an island of quiet, connected by the shared experience of this slow, nocturnal voyage. A pair of headphones rested on an empty seat, their music long since silenced. The need for distraction had faded away, replaced by a simple, content state of being. The journey was a form of meditation, an effortless letting go. The mind, freed from its usual obligations, was allowed to wander, to rest, to simply be. The darkness outside wasn't menacing, it was protective. It was a blanket that insulated this moving sanctuary from the complexities of the world. The train, with its steady rhythm and unwavering path, was a promise of safety and continuity. On and on it went, through the heart of the night, a slow, predictable, and comforting vessel, carrying its sleeping passengers toward a new day. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this moment of calm, please like and subscribe for more peaceful journeys. The train continued, moving forward through the night. Its speed remained slow and steady. Nothing about the motion felt different. The wheels followed the tracks smoothly. Click-clack, click-clack. The sound was soft and familiar. It repeated again and again, without change. It blended easily into the background noise, a rhythmic heartbeat for the long journey ahead. Inside the train, the air felt calm and settled. Passengers remained quiet in their seats. Most of them were asleep, lulled into a deep rest by the gentle rocking of the carriage. No one spoke, no one rushed. There was a sense of shared tranquility, an unspoken agreement to let the night unfold peacefully. The lights above the aisle stayed dim and gentle, casting a soft, warm glow that didn't strain the eyes. They did not flicker. They did not brighten. They simply stayed the same, a constant, comforting presence in the darkness. Outside the window, the countryside stretched wide and dark. Fields passed by slowly, their shapes soft and unclear in the muted light of the moon. Everything looked distant and quiet, as if the world outside the train was holding its breath. The train passed a long stretch of open land. No buildings appeared nearby. No roads crossed the tracks. There was only darkness and empty space, a vast canvas of rural America slipping by. Inside the car, a low, steady hum came from the engine. It remained constant, a deep, resonant sound that blended smoothly with the click-clack of the wheels on the tracks. Seats stayed still. Armrests rested quietly. Tray tables remained folded and unused, their purpose fulfilled for the day. A passenger near the aisle shifted slightly, a slow and gentle movement, perhaps adjusting a blanket or finding a more comfortable position. Then, the passenger became still again, surrendering once more to the train's soothing rhythm. Time passed quietly. Minutes drifted by without notice, blurring one into the next. The night felt long and calm, stretching out like the endless tracks ahead. Outside, a distant farmhouse appeared briefly, a silhouette against the dark landscape. One small light glowed faintly inside, a tiny beacon of life in the vast emptiness. The train moved past without slowing, a transient observer. The light faded into the darkness as quickly as it had appeared, leaving only the memory of its brief warmth. Telephone poles continued their steady procession beside the tracks. One, then another, then another. Each one was evenly spaced, marching into the night. The repetition felt soothing, a visual metronome marking the unhurried passage of time. Inside the train, no announcements played over the speakers. No voices were heard. The quiet remained undisturbed, a precious commodity in a busy world. The sound of the tracks stayed steady, a constant and reliable friend. Click-clack, click-clack. The gentle rocking of the train made bodies feel heavier, sinking deeper into the soft seats. Muscles relaxed further, letting go of the day's tension. Breathing deepened naturally, falling into a slow, easy rhythm that matched the train's pace. The window reflected the faint interior lights, creating a ghostly overlay on the dark scenery outside. Soft shapes moved slowly across the glass, distorted and dreamlike. Nothing sharp or bright appeared to break the spell. Outside, the sky remained dark and cloudy. No stars were visible. The clouds drifted slowly across the night, a soft, gray blanket covering the heavens. The train passed another quiet town. A few streetlights cast a lonely glow over empty streets. Closed buildings stood still and silent, their windows dark like sleeping eyes. The town slipped away into the darkness. Another fleeting moment in the long journey. Inside the car, passengers remained calm and peaceful. Blankets rested lightly over sleeping forms. Heads leaned comfortably against seats, cradled by the gentle motion. The engine's low hum continued evenly. It did not rise or fall in pitch. It stayed the same, a constant, reassuring drone that filled the quiet spaces. The aisle remained empty. No footsteps echoed down the narrow corridor. No doors opened or closed. The night continued peacefully, holding everyone in its gentle embrace. Nothing unexpected happened. Nothing required attention. There was only the journey itself. Outside, the countryside remained largely unchanged. Fields and fences passed by quietly, their forms lost in the deep shadows of the night. Darkness followed, a constant companion on this nocturnal voyage. The sound of the tracks remained familiar and comforting. Click-clack, click-clack. It was the sound of progress, of moving forward even while the world slept. The train carried everyone forward through the quiet American night. Safe, steady, calm. Thoughts drifted slowly, untethered from the worries of the day. Minds relaxed further, freed from the need to plan or decide. The steady motion continued without pause, a seamless flow of time and distance. The journey moved on gently, each mile a quiet victory against the vastness of the night. Nothing changed. Everything stayed peaceful. The night was a sanctuary, and the train, a vessel of perfect calm. The hum of the engine, the click of the wheels, the soft light, it all came together, creating a moving meditation. Each breath seemed to sync with the train's rhythm, a slow and deliberate inhale and exhale. The world outside was a dream, a passing show of muted colors and soft edges. Here, inside, was a space of pure stillness, a pocket of peace moving through the dark. There was no destination to worry about, only the gentle unfolding of the present moment. Sleep came easily in this moving cradle, a deep and restorative rest that smoothed out the rough edges of the waking world. And so the train rolled on, a silent guardian carrying its sleeping passengers toward the dawn, one steady, rhythmic click at a time. The journey was everything. The train moved forward through the night at the same gentle pace. Nothing about the journey changed. The wheels stayed steady on the tracks. Click-clack, click-clack. The sound repeated softly. It blended into the background with ease. Inside the train, the air remained quiet and still. Passengers rested peacefully in their seats. Most eyes stayed closed. Breathing was slow and calm. The lights above the aisle glowed dimly. They did not flicker. They did not change. They stayed the same. Outside the window, the countryside passed by slowly. Wide fields stretched into darkness. Their shapes were soft and unclear in the night. The train passed a long stretch of open land. No buildings appeared. No roads crossed nearby. Only land and sky. Inside the car, a low hum came from the engine. It remained constant. It mixed smoothly with the sound of the tracks. Seats stayed still. Armrests rested quietly. Tray tables remained folded. A passenger near the window shifted slightly, then became still again. The movement was gentle. Time passed quietly. Minutes blended together. The night felt long and calm. Outside, a distant farmhouse appeared briefly. A single light glowed faintly. The train passed without slowing. The light faded into the darkness. Telephone poles continued passing beside the tracks. One, then another, then another. The repetition felt soothing. Inside the train, no announcements played. No voices were heard. The silence remained complete. The sound of the tracks stayed steady. Click-clack, click-clack. The gentle rocking of the train made bodies feel heavier. Muscles relaxed further. Breathing deepened naturally. The window reflected faint shapes from inside the car. Soft shadows moved slowly across the glass. Outside, the sky remained dark and clouded. No stars appeared. The countryside stayed quiet and unchanged. Fields and fences passed by slowly. Passengers remained calm and undisturbed. Blankets rested lightly. Heads leaned comfortably. The engine's low hum continued evenly. It did not change. The aisle remained empty. No footsteps echoed. No doors opened. The night continued peacefully. Nothing demanded attention. Everything stayed calm. The journey continued its steady course through the quiet landscape. The rhythmic click-clack of the wheels on the rails was a constant, comforting presence, a lullaby for the travelers. Inside, the world was a cocoon of warmth and stillness. The soft glow of the overhead lights cast long, gentle shadows, painting the car in hues of rest. Each passenger was a part of this quiet scene, wrapped in their own dreams. Carried along by the train's unhurried momentum, the air was thick with tranquility, a shared silence that spoke volumes. It was a space where thoughts could wander freely, untethered from the rush of the day. Outside, the world was a moving canvas of dark shapes and muted colors. Trees stood like silent sentinels against the night sky. The occasional glimmer of a far-off light was a brief reminder of a world beyond the train. a world that was also sleeping. But here, within these moving walls, time seemed to slow down. The steady rocking motion was like a cradle, coaxing every muscle into a state of deep relaxation. It was a journey, not just through space, but through a state of profound peace. The low, consistent hum of the engine was the heartbeat of this journey, a sound that assured everything was as it should be. There were no interruptions, no sudden noises to break the spell. The doors remained closed, the aisles clear. It was a world self-contained, a bubble of serenity gliding through the night. The reflection in the window showed a mirror image of this peace, a faint outline of a resting head against the dark, passing scenery. The rhythm of the train was hypnotic, pulling the mind away from worry and into a state of simple being. Click-clack, click-clack. The sound was a promise of continuity, a guarantee that this peaceful passage would go on. The journey was the destination, a long, uninterrupted moment of calm. Every element, from the soft upholstery of the seats to the gentle sway of the car, contributed to this atmosphere of deep, untroubled rest. Everything was still. Everything was quiet. Everything was calm. The train continues its slow journey through the night. Its pace remains steady, unchanged. The wheels follow the tracks smoothly, the soft, familiar click-clack repeating effortlessly, blending into the quiet around it. Inside, the air is calm and still. Passengers rest quietly in their seats, most with their eyes closed, their breathing slow and even. Outside the window, the countryside passes by in a slow, dark procession. The train moves through a long, open stretch of land. There are no houses here, no roads crossing nearby. Inside the car, the low, constant hum from the engine continues, mixing smoothly with the sound of the tracks. The seats remain still, the armrests down, the tray tables folded away. A passenger near the window shifts slightly, a gentle, quiet movement, before becoming still once more. Minutes blend together, making the night feel long and wonderfully calm. The repetition is soothing, predictable, a gentle rhythm for the sleeping mind. Inside the train, no announcements play, no voices are heard. The silence remains complete, punctuated only by the steady sound of the wheels on the tracks. Click-clack, click-clack. The journey feels endless in the most peaceful way. Passengers remain calm and undisturbed, wrapped in a shared tranquility. The aisle remains empty, with no footsteps to echo, no doors opening or closing. The train carries everyone onward, a silent vessel moving through the quiet American night. The rhythmic pulse of the journey creates a space outside of time. The world outside is a blur of shadows and indistinct shapes, a moving painting of the sleeping heartland. There is a unique comfort in this shared solitude. Though surrounded by strangers, each passenger is alone in their own quiet world, lulled by the same gentle rhythm. The train itself seems to breathe, its mechanical heart beating with a steady, reassuring pulse. It asks for nothing, simply offering a steady path through the darkness. The slow, unchanging scenery becomes meditative. A line of trees, a low hill, a stretch of empty road, they all drift by with the same unhurried grace. This is a journey not just through space, but through a state of mind. It's a slow descent into calm, a letting go of the day's worries. The constant, gentle rocking is like a lullaby, a physical reminder that you are being taken care of, transported safely toward the morning. The absence of distraction is a gift. No screens, no conversations, just the pure, simple experience of movement. The train travels on, a steady presence in the vast quiet, its passengers resting deeply, carried through the heart of the night. The train moves slowly through the night, its pace constant and steady. The wheels follow the tracks with the same smooth rhythm. Click-clack, click-clack. The sound is gentle and repetitive, soothing like the beat of a quiet drum. It fades into the background, barely noticeable, but ever present. Inside the train, the atmosphere remains calm and peaceful. The passengers sit quietly in their seats, most of them fast asleep. The stillness is comforting. Breathing is slow and steady. The lights above the aisle cast a soft, dim glow. They don't flicker or change. Outside the window, the world remains a blur of darkness. The train moves through vast, open fields. Their edges are soft and unclear in the shadow of the night. Nothing stands out, no buildings, no lights, just fields stretching on endlessly. The train passes through long stretches of empty land, with no sign of civilization in sight. No cars or roads cross the tracks. Only the quiet emptiness of the countryside, with the occasional silhouette of trees standing still in the distance. Inside the car, the low hum of the engine fills the air. It blends smoothly with the sound of the tracks, creating a steady rhythm. Everything feels calm, almost hypnotic, as if the train is carrying everyone into a peaceful dream. The seats remain still, the armrests down, and the tray tables folded. Everything is exactly where it has been, offering a sense of stability and order. The motion of the train is gentle, rocking slowly back and forth, soothing bodies into a deeper state of relaxation. A passenger near the aisle shifts slightly, readjusting their position. Then, like the others, they become still again. Their breathing matches the rhythm of the train, slow and steady. Time passes without much notice. Minutes feel like hours. The night stretches on, peaceful and quiet. Outside, a distant farmhouse appears briefly. A single light shines faintly from inside. But the train continues its journey without slowing. The light soon disappears, swallowed by the distance. Telephone poles continue to pass by steadily. One, then another, each one spaced perfectly from the next, creating a sense of order in the otherwise vast open land. Inside the train, no announcements break the silence. No voices, no noise, just the soft hum of the engine and the rhythmic sound of the wheels on the tracks. The quiet is absolute, undisturbed by anything outside. The sound of the tracks is steady. Click-clack, click-clack. The gentle rocking of the train makes passengers feel heavier, as if the weight of their bodies is being cradled by the train. Muscles relax naturally, shoulders drop, and the stillness of the night seems to wrap around everyone like a soft blanket. The window reflects the faintest glimmer of light from inside the car. Shadows move slowly across the glass, soft and quiet. Outside, the sky remains overcast, with no stars visible, just a blanket of clouds drifting lazily across the horizon. The countryside outside remains unchanged. Dark fields, fences, and occasional tree lines pass by. Everything blends together, forming a continuous, peaceful scene. The train carries on, the sound of the tracks and the hum of the engine never faltering. Everything inside the car is still. Blankets rest lightly on legs. Heads lean comfortably against the seat backs. The aisle remains empty, and no footsteps echo through the car. No doors open. The night continues, peaceful and uninterrupted. Nothing out of the ordinary happens. Nothing needs to happen. Everything remains calm. The train moves forward, carrying its passengers gently through the quiet night. Slow, predictable, peaceful. The repetition of the journey creates a sense of deep comfort. Each soft sway of the carriage is a familiar gesture, a gentle reassurance that all is well. The world outside is a canvas of muted colors, shades of gray and deep blue, all blending into one another. The soft glow from within the car doesn't intrude on this darkness. It simply exists alongside it, a small island of warmth in a vast, cool sea. The air inside is still and carries a neutral scent, the faint, clean smell of the train car itself. There is no drama, no tension, just a simple, profound peace of being in transit, suspended between a place you have left and a place you are yet to arrive. This in-between state is a sanctuary. The mind lets go of its usual worries, lulled by the unchanging environment. Thoughts drift by like the clouds in the sky, unattached and fleeting. The constant, rhythmic sound of the wheels on the steel tracks is a mantra, a low, percussive hum that seems to resonate deep within the body, calming the nervous system. The vibrations are subtle, a gentle massage that works its way through the seats, up through the spine, encouraging every muscle to release its hold. As the train continues its unhurried passage, the landscape offers subtle variations. A cluster of trees might appear, their branches bare against the dark sky, like intricate ink drawings. A low hill might roll by, its contours barely visible. These small changes don't disrupt the tranquility. They add to it, providing gentle points of focus for a mind that is otherwise at rest. Each element of the journey is a part of a larger, harmonious whole. The dim light, the soft sounds, the gentle motion, they all work together to create an atmosphere of profound restfulness. You can feel the weight of the day lifting, replaced by a feeling of lightness and ease. The passengers, lost in their own quiet worlds of sleep or contemplation, contribute to this collective peace. Their stillness is a shared experience, a silent agreement to let the night unfold at its own unhurried pace. The carriage becomes a cocoon, protecting its occupants from the complexities of the outside world. There are no demands here, no expectations. There is only the journey itself. The steady forward movement is a promise of progress, but it is a progress so gentle that it feels like stillness. The rhythm of the rails continues, a constant heartbeat for this journey through the night. Click-clack, click-clack. It's a sound that has accompanied travelers for generations, a timeless lullaby of the tracks. The darkness outside the window is not empty. It is full of quiet life, of fields resting and trees breathing. The train is just a visitor passing through, a respectful observer of the night's deep slumber. The constancy of the experience is its greatest gift. There are no sudden noises, no abrupt changes in speed. The engine's hum remains at the same low pitch, a foundational note in this symphony of tranquility. The rocking of the car is a gentle, predictable dance, a slow waltz with the tracks. This predictability is deeply reassuring. It allows the mind to completely let go of its need to be alert. In this space, you can surrender to the moment, trusting that the train will carry you safely through the darkness. The journey is not about the destination, but about the peace found along the way. It's a moving meditation, a chance to disconnect from the hustle of life and reconnect with a simpler, quieter part of yourself. As time flows on, unmarked by clocks or announcements, the sense of peace deepens. The body sinks further into the seat, feeling supported and secure. The air remains comfortably temperate, neither too warm nor too cool. Every detail seems calibrated for calm. Even the fabric of the seats, the texture of the armrests, contributes to the feeling of understated comfort. The world outside remains a soft, flowing tapestry of shadows. Occasionally, a distant, solitary light might flicker into view for a moment, a reminder that other lives are unfolding in the quiet darkness before the train moves on and the light is gone. Inside this moving sanctuary, everything is pared down to its essentials: sound, motion, and a gentle, pervasive quiet. The mind is free to wander or to simply be still, to follow the rhythm of the train as it makes its steady way toward the dawn. The journey is a long, slow exhale, a release of all that is held too tightly. It is a reminder that sometimes the most profound experiences are the simplest ones. The train moves on, slow, predictable, and peaceful, a vessel of calm navigating the deep, silent river of the night. Thank you for joining this journey. If you enjoyed this experience, please consider following for more peaceful moments. The train continued its journey, moving steadily forward through the night. Its motion was smooth, predictable, never wavering from its path. The wheels followed the tracks with a calm and consistent rhythm. Click-clack, click-clack. The sound was a familiar, steady companion, repeating itself over and over, gently filling the quiet space inside the car. Nothing interrupted this comforting cadence. The air inside the train felt still and comfortable, a pocket of warmth and tranquility. Most of the passengers were asleep now, their breathing rising and falling in slow, even waves. Above the aisle, the lights glowed with a soft, constant dimness, never flickering, never brightening. They simply held their gentle presence in the long, quiet car. Outside the window, the night stretched out, wide and dark. The train glided past open fields and vast, empty landscapes. The shapes of the world outside were soft and distant, barely visible in the deep darkness. The countryside looked calm, peaceful, and unchanged. No buildings appeared nearby. No sudden movements could be seen. Inside the car, the low, steady hum of the engine continued its song. It blended seamlessly with the rhythmic sound of the tracks, creating a gentle background noise that felt deeply steady and profoundly safe. It was the sound of progress, of being carried forward without effort or worry. Everything inside the car remained still. Armrests stayed down. Tray tables stayed neatly folded away. For a brief moment, a distant road appeared alongside the tracks. No cars passed along its empty stretch of pavement. A single streetlight cast a faint, lonely glow, and then it too disappeared behind the train, swallowed by the darkness. Telephone poles continued their silent march beside the tracks. One, then another, then another. Their steady, repeating spacing felt calming, a visual metronome marking our passage through the sleeping world. It was a simple, repetitive sight that added to the overall sense of order and calm. Inside the train, the silence was complete. No announcements played over a speaker. No voices echoed through the car. No alarms sounded. There was only the pure, uninterrupted quiet, punctuated solely by the steady rhythm of the wheels. The click-clack of the tracks remained constant, a heartbeat for the long journey. The gentle, side-to-side rocking of the train made bodies feel heavier, encouraging a deeper state of relaxation. Muscles released their tension, shoulders rested comfortably against the seats, and breathing slowed naturally. Thoughts, too, became softer, less urgent. Some thoughts simply faded away completely, dissolving into the peaceful hum and motion. The window glass reflected the faint interior lights, creating soft, moving shadows that danced slowly across its surface. Outside, the sky remained a deep, solid dark, covered by a thick blanket of clouds. No stars were visible, only the slow, aimless drift of the clouds themselves. The train passed through another quiet town, a collection of dark and still buildings. The train did not slow its pace, moving through the sleeping community like a silent ghost. In a moment, the town faded back into the distance, and the landscape returned to open country. Inside the car, light blankets rested on the sleeping passengers. Heads leaned gently against seatbacks, lost in dreams. No one stirred, no one coughed, no one whispered. The entire car was a study in stillness and peace. The engine's hum remained perfectly even and calm. never rising or falling in pitch. It stayed exactly the same, a constant, reassuring presence throughout the long night. The aisle remained empty and clear. No footsteps echoed on the carpet. No compartment doors slid open or closed. The night continued on its course without a single interruption. Nothing unexpected happened. Nothing demanded attention. It was a journey defined by its lack of events, by its perfect, uneventful flow. Outside, the countryside returned to its familiar darkness. Fields and fences passed by in a quiet, shadowy parade. The sound was a promise of forward movement, a lullaby for the travelers it carried. The train was a vessel, carrying everyone forward through the quiet American night. It was slow in its own deliberate way. It was steady in its unwavering purpose. And it was safe, a cocoon of peace moving through the vast darkness. The journey continued peacefully, a seamless ribbon of time and space. Everything remained calm. Everything stayed the same. And in that sameness, there was a profound sense of comfort, a feeling of being exactly where you were supposed to be. The wheels turned, the engine hummed, and the night unfolded just as it should. There was nothing to do but rest and let the train carry you onward, toward the eventual dawn. The rocking motion was like a cradle, gently lulling the mind into a state of deep repose. Worries and anxieties of the day seemed to belong to another world, another time. Here, in the heart of the moving train, there was only the present moment, a long, sustained note of tranquility. The air had a clean, filtered quality, cool but not cold. It was the kind of air that invited deep, slow breaths. With each inhalation, a sense of calm spread further through the body, and with each exhalation, another layer of tension was released. The journey was not just a physical one from one place to another. It was a journey inward, into a space of quiet contemplation and rest. Outside, the silhouette of a distant line of trees appeared against the dark sky, then slowly receded. The landscape was a painter's canvas of dark grays and blacks, with subtle shifts in tone and texture that the eye could just barely perceive. It was a world devoid of sharp edges, a world softened by the night. The train itself was the only source of defined light and sound, an island of gentle activity in a sea of stillness. This contrast made the feeling of security inside the car even stronger. It was a bubble of warmth and life, gliding effortlessly through a sleeping world. The consistency of the experience was its most powerful feature. The same sounds, the same sights, the same feelings, hour after hour. This repetition was not boring. It was hypnotic. It was a meditation in motion. The gentle vibration of the floor beneath your feet was a constant reminder of the powerful machinery at work. Yet it was so subtle, so even, that it became part of the background calm. It was a symphony that promised rest, that guaranteed safety, that carried its listeners forward into the quiet, unfolding mystery of the journey. Everything was as it should be. Everything was calm. Everything was calm. Everything was peaceful. Thank you for joining me on this journey. If you enjoyed this experience, please consider liking and subscribing for more peaceful travels. The train continued its journey through the night, a silent traveler on an endless ribbon of steel. It moved without changing direction or speed, its progress smooth and gentle, almost like a whisper across the landscape. The wheels followed the tracks with a careful, measured rhythm. Click, clack, click, clack. The sound repeated softly, a gentle percussion that filled the silence without effort. It felt steady and deeply reassuring, a familiar pattern that never needed attention, a heartbeat for the sleeping world outside. Inside the train, the atmosphere remained profoundly calm and quiet. Passengers were settled in their seats, surrendered to the gentle motion. Most of them were deeply asleep now, lost in dreams carried along by the train's steady pace. Their breathing was slow and peaceful, rising and falling in unison with the car's subtle sway. The aisle lights glowed with a soft, warm tone, casting long, gentle shadows. They stayed dim and constant, a comforting beacon in the manufactured twilight. Nothing flickered, nothing changed. The entire car was a cocoon of tranquility, suspended in time and motion. Outside the window, a vast darkness stretched across the land. The train passed wide, empty fields and long, lonely fences. Their shapes appeared briefly in the peripheral glow from the carriage, like ghosts in the night, then faded away again into the blackness. The countryside felt endless and profoundly still. A sleeping giant, the train was careful not to wake. No sounds came from outside, not the call of an animal, nor the rustle of wind. No movement could be seen, just mile after mile of quiet land slipping past, a silent film playing only for the moonless sky. Inside the car, the low, persistent hum of the engine continued its tireless work. It was a sound so constant it became part of the silence, blending perfectly with the rhythmic click-clack of the wheels on the tracks. The two sounds moved together in a perfect, soothing harmony, a lullaby for the weary. Everything inside was orderly and calm. Seats stayed in place, their fabric textures absorbing the soft light. Armrests remained down, silent sentinels between sleeping strangers. Tray tables stayed folded and unused, their purpose forgotten until morning. A passenger near the middle of the car adjusted their blanket slightly, a barely perceptible shift in the stillness. The movement was slow and gentle, an unconscious response to a dream or a slight change in temperature. Soon they were still again, sinking deeper into their comfortable rest, enveloped by the train's gentle embrace. Time continued to pass quietly, the minutes blending into one another without distinction. The night felt deep and unbroken, a vast, dark ocean the train was sailing through. There was no sense of urgency, no destination to rush towards, only the journey itself. Outside, a small, solitary crossing sign appeared near the tracks, its reflective surface catching the light for a fleeting moment. No warning lights flashed, no cars waited patiently to pass. The crossing was as deserted as the fields surrounding it. The train passed without slowing, its presence unnoticed. Telephone poles continued their steady, hypnotic rhythm beside the tracks, marching into the darkness. One, then another, then another. Their repetition felt soothing and predictable, a visual mantra that calmed the mind and eased the soul. The window, a dark mirror, reflected faint lights from inside the car. Soft, distorted shadows moved slowly across the glass, phantoms of the sleepers within. Outside, the sky remained dark and overcast. No stars appeared to offer their distant, cold light. The clouds drifted slowly, without shape or direction, a gray blanket hiding the heavens. The train passed another quiet town, a small cluster of sleeping lives. A few streetlights glowed over empty roads, casting lonely pools of light on the asphalt. Buildings stood still and dark, their windows like closed eyes. The town slipped away behind the train, disappearing back into the night as quickly as it had appeared. Inside the car, the passengers remained undisturbed, each one in their own private world of sleep. The aisle remained empty, a silent corridor through this moving dormitory. No footsteps echoed on the carpet. No doors opened or closed with a soft click. The night continued its peaceful, uninterrupted reign. Nothing unusual happened. Nothing needed attention. The journey was a study in consistency, a meditation on movement. Outside, the fields returned once more, vast and dark. Fences passed by slowly, their wooden posts counting out the miles in the darkness. Everything looked familiar and calm, a landscape of peace. The sound of the tracks continued its eternal, gentle rhythm. Click-clack, click-clack. The train moved forward through the quiet American night, a vessel of calm gliding through a sleeping world. Slow, predictable, comforting, the journey carried on without pause, a seamless flow of time and distance. Everything stayed calm, everything stayed the same. And in its sameness, there was a profound and beautiful peace. The world outside could wait. For now, there was only the night, the motion, and the quiet, steady beat of the train. The train kept moving through the night, a steady and unwavering pace carrying it forward. Nothing about its motion changed. The wheels stayed firmly on the tracks, their rhythmic sound a soft and repeating whisper against the quiet of the night. Click-clack, click-clack, click-clack. It was a gentle beat, a sound that blended smoothly into the darkness, never demanding attention, simply existing as a constant, comforting presence. Inside the train, the air felt calm and settled, a peaceful stillness that enveloped everything. Passengers remained still in their seats, most of them now deeply asleep. Their breathing was slow, and even a collective sigh of rest filling the car. Above the aisle, the lights continued their soft, dim glow. They were warm and constant, never flickering, never brightening. They stayed exactly the same, casting a gentle, golden hue over the sleeping forms. Outside the window, the land passed slowly by. Wide, dark fields appeared, and then just as quietly disappeared back into the vast darkness. Their shapes were faint and gentle, shadows against the deeper shadow of the night. The countryside looked quiet and unchanged, a landscape of pure, open space. No buildings stood nearby. No roads crossed the tracks. There was only the endless stretch of open land moving past, a silent observer of the train's journey. Inside the car, the low, steady hum of the engine continued without a single pause. It blended perfectly with the sound of the wheels on the tracks, the two sounds merging to form a single, calming rhythm. This was the heartbeat of the train, a steady and reassuring pulse in the deep of the night. The seats remained still, their armrests down, their tray tables folded away. Nothing inside the car shifted or made a sudden sound. Everything was in its place, just as it should be. Near the front of the car, a passenger adjusted their head ever so slightly. The movement was slow and careful, a subtle shift for comfort. And then, just as quickly, they were still again, settling back into the deep peace of sleep. Time itself seemed to pass without meaning. The minutes flowed quietly one into another, blurring together into one long, peaceful stretch of night. Outside, a distant signal light appeared for a brief moment. It glowed softly, a small pinprick of green in the darkness, and then faded away as the train moved steadily on. Telephone poles continued their silent march beside the tracks. One, then another, then another. Their spacing was even and predictable, a familiar pattern repeating endlessly alongside the window. They were like silent sentinels, marking the passage through the dark. Inside the train, no announcements played over the speakers. No voices broke the profound silence. No alarms sounded to startle or disturb. The only sound was the steady beat of the tracks. Click-clack, click-clack. A sound so constant it became a part of the quiet itself. The gentle rocking of the train, a subtle side-to-side sway, made bodies feel heavier, more grounded. Muscles relaxed completely, letting go of any tension they might have been holding. Shoulders rested comfortably against the seats, and breathing became even deeper, more profound. Thoughts began to slow down, losing their urgency. Some thoughts disappeared entirely, dissolving into the quiet hum and the gentle motion of the train. The window reflected the faint interior lights, creating soft, ghostly shadows that moved slowly across the glass. Outside, the sky remained dark and completely covered with a thick blanket of clouds. No stars appeared. The clouds drifted slowly and quietly overhead, just as peaceful as the land below. The train passed through another quiet town. A few distant lights glowed faintly, suggesting homes where others were sleeping. The train did not slow its pace. It continued on its steady path, and the town slipped away, disappearing back into the all-encompassing darkness. Inside the car, Blankets rested gently on the passengers, rising and falling with their slow breaths. Heads leaned comfortably against seat backs and windows, cradled by the gentle rhythm of the journey. No one stirred. The engine's hum stayed low and even, a deep and constant drone. It did not change in pitch or volume. It remained a faithful, unwavering companion through the night. The aisle remained empty and clear. No footsteps echoed through the car. No doors opened or closed. The night continued on, smooth and without interruption. Nothing unexpected happened. Nothing required attention. There was only this continuous, peaceful movement forward. Outside, the fields returned once more, vast and dark. Fences passed by slowly, their lines tracing the edge of the unseen landscape. Everything looked the same as before, a repeating panorama of quiet, rural America at night. And through it all, the sound of the tracks continued, a constant lullaby. Click-clack, click-clack. The train carried everyone forward, a safe and steady vessel moving through the quiet American night. It was slow, it was steady, it was comforting. The journey continued gently and without cease. Everything stayed calm. Everything stayed the same. And as the wheels turned and the engine hummed, you too could feel yourself being carried forward into a deep and restful sleep. There's nothing to do now but rest, to let the steady rhythm of the train guide you into your dreams. Thank you for joining this journey. If you found this calming, please like and subscribe for more peaceful travels. Sleep well. The train continued moving through the night just as it had before. Its speed stayed steady. Its direction did not change. Click-clack. Click-clack, the sound of the wheels remained soft and familiar. It blended into the quiet, becoming part of the background. Inside the train, everything felt calm and settled. Passengers stayed comfortably in their seats. Most of them were fully asleep now. Breathing was slow and gentle. The aisle lights continued glowing softly. They stayed dim and warm. They did not flicker. They did not fade. They remained constant. Outside the window, darkness stretched across the land. Fields passed slowly by. Their shapes were faint and smooth. The countryside felt endless and quiet. No buildings appeared. No roads crossed the tracks. Only land and night inside the car. The low hum of the engine continued evenly. It blended with the sound of the tracks. Together, they formed a steady rhythm that felt safe and familiar. Seats remained still. Armrests stayed down. Tray tables stayed folded. Everything inside the car stayed exactly the same. A passenger shifted slightly in their sleep. The movement was slow and quiet. Soon they were still again. Time passed gently. Minutes blended together. The night felt deep and unbroken. Outside, a distant signal light appeared briefly. It glowed softly. Then it disappeared behind the train. Telephone poles continued passing beside the tracks. One, then another, then another. The repetition remained calming and predictable. Inside the train, no announcements played. No voices echoed. No sudden sounds appeared. The sound of the tracks stayed steady. Click-clack, click-clack. The gentle rocking of the train made bodies feel heavy and relaxed. Muscles rested fully. Shoulders sank comfortably. Breathing stayed slow. Thoughts faded. Awareness softened. The window reflected faint interior lights. Soft shadows drifted across the glass. Outside, the sky remained dark and clouded. No stars appeared. The clouds moved slowly without shape. The train passed one last quiet town. A few lights glowed faintly in the distance. The train did not slow. The town faded quietly into the night. Inside the car, blankets rested gently. Heads leaned against seatbacks. Everyone remained peaceful. The engine's hum stayed even. It did not rise or fall. It remained the same. The aisle remained empty. No footsteps echoed. No doors opened. The night continued calmly. Nothing unexpected happened. Nothing needed attention. Outside, fields returned once more. Fences passed slowly. Everything looked familiar and quiet. The sound of the tracks continued. Click-clack, click-clack. The train moved forward through the quiet American night. Slow, steady Sefard journey did not end suddenly. It simply continued, soft commencing, and as the train moved forward, the night remained peaceful. Everything stayed quiet. Everything stayed still.